Hey everyone, welcome back to Indicted TV. I am your host, Negra. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. And today we have FlyBoy.
What's up?
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you grew up, your house, your house. How was your household? Your parents, brothers, sisters?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
So I grew up right here in Pomona.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Childhood was pretty good. Single mother. Different men. Coming into our life and stuff, and some stood around more than others. For the most part, they were cool, but I had siblings, and some of my siblings had different experiences than I did.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it kind of went,
Traumatizing experiences.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As a kid, they put us in a foster home at about, I don't know, I think I was around 7, 8 maybe.
Oh, you were small.
I was little because of, things that were going on in the house. And so they took me, my sister, and my brother away, the younger ones, right? And I ended up in a foster home, and I think it was Compton, with a black family. First time I had ever, been in a house like that, and it was another abusive. They were abusive towards the foster kids.
Oh,
and,
so they were like fostering kids, and
they were fostering kids, but they had anger issues, and it was just not a good environment. But it felt like a month to me, but my brothers told me it was more like 6 months. Cause I was little, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
So we hopped around from different foster homes, but my mom did what she needed to do, and did her thing, that therapy or whatever. But she got us back. She got all of us back.
Yeah, she went through the whole getting her children back from the system. You got to go to court.
Yeah. So we entered the system, fairly young. Even if it's not on a criminal level.
No,
Once you're in the system, you're in the system, right? Like child protective services are always in, social workers. We had therapy, and we had to go through a lot. So at a young age, we did a lot of those kinds of things that little kids, you shouldn't have to go through.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? What else? So we finally got back, but it just made us worse. It made us worse. My sister was a runaway. My mom didn't know how to handle the things that, she's a single mother, and but at the end of the day, we grew up and kind of, my mom worked, so we just all kind of ran the streets,
Just did your own thing to
my
survive.
sisters were a runaway. My younger brother was doing who knows what. I was out here, going around. I wasn't a bad kid, I was just I was a travieso. I just like being out in the street, sneaking out, doing this, doing that. But
you were, like you said, you weren't a bad kid. You weren't a bad kid. You just liked to, like you said, you like to do travesuras.
Yeah, I just like being out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a bad kid, like committing crimes or nothing like that. It was just, we'd go to the river, we'd go climb the hill, we'd do this, do that.
Kid stuff.
But I remember, once we got into like junior high, and then everything started changing, and ditching parties, and the girls, and we're smoking. And I had a friend. His name is Alvaro. His dad used to sell, right? He had like big trash bags of in his. But he was alcoholic. So we get home from after school, and his dad, we passed out drunk. So we go in his bag and just start, taking ounces, and we go to the park and we'd be selling dimes and nicks. You know what I mean?
Hey,
little 13-year-olds at the park slinging it. And we did that for a minute, and then we got arrested.
So I'm gonna ask you, when was the first time you got arrested?
Oof. So the first time I got arrested, I believe I was about 11 or 12. I was little. And we were in a dead end, listening to music, drinking, those homeboys, homegirls, I was a little wannabe at the time, just hanging out. I wasn't from the hood or nothing, but I remember we were just chilling. I remember they were like smoking angel dust, and they were smoking weed over here, and everybody drinking.
Yeah, because back in the
crazy.
days, it was
crazy.
Extremely different.
But I'm a little kid. I'm not into none of that. I'm just happy to hang out. And I remember I was sitting in a car listening to music, and I didn't know it was stolen. I was just in a car sitting shotgun, just
Yeah,
hanging
you're
out.
joyriding.
Fucking cops roll up, helicopter. They drew down on us. Everybody's on the floor. Everybody went to jail. I'd say about 15, 20 of us, like paddy wagon. Bring the fucking bus. Take all these motherfuckers, right? So yeah, that was the first time, and I got arrested for joyriding and a Grand Theft Auto, right? So now I'm really in the system.
If you were in the system before, now you're really in it.
So I went to jail. My mom, they got me out, and that fucked me up. Just
So how long did you go to jail for? Was it just like, oh, your
no,
mom?
they called my mom. I was young, so they called my mom. Hey, come pick your kids like 1 a.m. Like, do you know where your kid's at? She's like, yeah, he's asleep. Go check. I'm not there. He's out in the G ride, listening to music. But it's funny because like my career in the system started from something so innocent for me. Whatever they were doing, that, but I got just thrown into everything.
The wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people.
Well, it's up because this was in the 90s or the late 80s, maybe 1990 or something like that. But in that time, you remember the cops were just like, run up, crash unit. They didn't care if you committed a crime or not. They were just running up on you. And so I got a GTA, probation, went to court. They put me on probation, test, because there was so much drug use. They put me on testing, PO every week, blah, blah, blah. Violation started because, you ditch school, that's a violation.
So you were violating. At when of those violations did you end up in juvenile hall actually doing time?
It's been so many times. I think I hit my teacher or something like that.
Oh, so that's like the one that you were able to
I remember one time my teacher caught me hitting up in the bathroom real big, and he ran up on me and he caught me and he tried to grab me and I hit him, and I ran home scared because I knew I fucked up.
Yeah.
And they came and got me at the house and took me straight to the house.
Yeah.
My mom got home from work, didn't even know I was there. They had to call her and be like, hey, you're fucking Downey.
Oh, a los padrinos.
LP, yeah.
Yeah. So how was that experience for you? Your first experience, you're just walking in, you're looking at everything.
Yeah.
You're like feeling things.
I remember driving in the van, seeing the golf course, and I'm like, man, that doesn't look so bad, Big old park, and then you see the big wall with barbed wire, and you're like, oh. Right? Yeah, I remember seeing you hear a buzz in the air from the light, fluorescent light, and I remember that as a kid, and I remember the clothes smelled stale, and everything was too big, and right, and
Yes.
you're hungry and you're scared, and I didn't know what was I just see kids looking at me like they're just waiting for me to come in the dorm. And I'm just like, oh, but I'm a little badass. Like I'm like, let's run it.
Oh, you're ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna stalk the first fool that runs up. Like that was my mentality because, that's the way we were taught.
Yes.
The first fool that gets in your face, you come within contact, it's on. And that's what I did. You gotta show that you ain't a little punk or you're not. You have to show that you're down for your shit. So I got in a fight the first day and slept in the box, for like 24 hours. You come back, now everybody knows, okay, this fool.
Yeah.
This fool got down for his shit. But it's crazy, yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. I understand. I've been,
Yeah.
I understand. So you kept getting violated. Did you ever get off probation?
Never.
Oh, you never got a probation.
So from 11 or 12, whatever age I got busted, to 18, I was maybe out like 2 years out of all. You do 3 months, you do 6 months, you do 4 months, you go to camp, you do it. And I never really added it up, but I would say about 2 years maybe. But the rest is all locked up, in one way or another.
Yeah, for sure. And what was the craziest thing that you recall, that you remember from juvenile hall?
The craziest thing from juvenile, you know what? at one point I made it up to it's called HRO, the high risk offenders, right? And you know, that's where all the foods that are busted for, like, you know, heavy shit. They're all going to trial. Yeah, in Orange. And I ended up there, and I'm like, fuck, you know. And at the time I had you know, I think it was a conspiracy charge, and they threw me in there. Now I'm with the fellas. Like, these fools ain't kids. They're all like 16 and older, and, you know, they all work out and they're all big, and I'm just like, oh shit. But I fit right in. It's like they dropped me in my element. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, the homies right here. Boom. And I drew.
Oh, so you were already drawing.
Oh, I've been drawing since since I can remember. Oh. Kindergarten, you know. Yeah. I've always been an artist in one way or another. But when I got busted and I started hitting the, you know, juvenile hall, I started drawing, you know, the clock towers and the heart with the bars in it, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to send it to all these little hyenas and shit, and trying to get back. But
the craziest thing.
The craziest thing I ever did in juvenile hall, I would say, is, you know what? I would say fighting. Just
normal,
the fighting.
Yeah.
I never did nothing that crazy, you know.
Or what about the craziest thing you saw?
Man, the craziest thing I ever saw is just.
In juvenile hall.
You know what? The craziest, the saddest thing I ever saw, I would say, is that you don't have a bathroom in your cell, right? So you have to knock on the door to come out at night. And a lot of times the staffs were disrespectful and they wouldn't let you out. So a lot of times the kids would, you know, use the bathroom in their cells, you know, and they would defecate in there. And that's sad because
shouldn't do that.
It's traumatizing to a child,
you shouldn't have to go through that, regardless of the situation, you know, regardless of them being like, no, nobody needs to do that.
The craziest thing, I don't know. I would just say all of it. You know, I can't pinpoint like one specific action, but I know that it was just all crazy. Every day was crazy. You know, you would get a huila saying, "Hey, go to church today because we're gonna get them up." Ah, damn! Like, all right, like, I guess I'm fighting today. Or, you know, it's a lot of psychological because everybody wants to be, you know, the big dog. Everybody wants to be the baddest kid in the block or in the unit. And I never paid no mind to that myself. You know, you want to be that guy, go be that guy. I'm just gonna draw right here.
Nice.
But I know how to conduct myself. I know how to blend in with the homies. I know how to, you know, stay in line. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
So, I never had nothing really too crazy happen to me like that.
Oh,
Not in juvenile hall.
That's good.
Other than fighting.
That's
probably
good though.
got in
you
100
know.
fights. In juvenile, about 100 fights, bro. Like.
But you say you were there for a very, very long time. Like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like in and out. So what was the first time you got in trouble as an adult?
So as an adult, I had been out a few months from camp, you know. I had turned 18. I was out. I had a job, I had a car. Like, I was doing it, you know. And, but I couldn't let go of the neighborhood. I was in the neighborhood every day, every night, going to work tired. I caught a case. I caught a hot one, you know, and I ended up beating it on a DA reject. Right? And I remember being at the police station, and the detective came and he told me, "You lucky motherfucker." Straight up, these are the exact words. He goes, "You lucky motherfucker. I gotta let you go, but I'm letting you know right now that I know you did it, and I'm gonna get your ass. So get out of the city and don't come back." He told me straight out like that.
Oh, so you never even ended up going to court?
No, it was a DA reject. I was in there for 3 days. I'm thinking I'm done, right? And there was a DA reject. They never came and got me, and I went and I got out, and I stood away. I listened to him. I said, "I'm gonna stay away," you know. I stood out for a month, and I couldn't do it. I went back to the neighborhood, and that same day, I caught another case. I caught 2 armed robberies.
Oh, so that same day you got...
The same day I came back.
From you, like, you know, leaving...
Yeah, from staying away. I came back, and I got busted that same fucking...
So you said you got busted for?
Robberies.
Robberies.
We were all jacking fools.
Ah, is that what...
That's what got me to the county the first time at 18.
At 18, so you walked into county.
Well, I walked into the police station, and guess what that said, I told you I'm gonna get your bitch ass. I knew it.
Because how long were you gone for? Like
A month.
Oh man, that fool was
He
waiting
had
for
just
you.
he had just told me.
Yeah.
And I fucking didn't listen. And my brother was telling me too, fool, kick back, don't go.
Don't go.
Chill. But you know, I was staying in like Rancho Cucamonga. I'm like, I gotta get back to the hood. Like, fuck this shit. You know, I felt like Day.
So you got busted for 2 armed robberies. How exactly did you do it, or what did you do? You know, be a little bit more descriptive.
So one of my homeboys were riding around, and we were just on one, you know, straight up. And this fool was like,
What do you mean? What do you mean?
we were high.
Yeah, I was about to ask you what you mean
Yeah.
by on one. People
Yeah,
might not know what
back
on
in the
one is.
90s, everybody was doing that. You know, everybody was doing lines. Everybody was on one. It wasn't, I don't know if it was like it is now, but back then, you know, we were all on one. You know what I'm saying? So,
I was on one too.
so my homeboy was like, let's go, right? And so me, I was just like, well, let's ride. So we went, we were just, you know, hitting licks, and we were in my car. The same car I got busted in a month before. So they already knew like exactly.
Yeah, you just weren't caring.
I wasn't carrying.
You were just disrespectful as fuck.
I felt like, you know, like I didn't think about getting caught. I didn't care about consequences anymore. Like I had just been busted so many years that I didn't even care whether I went in or not.
You just wanted the thrill of being out here.
Whatever happens, you know. Sometimes, you know, sometimes we're on the winning end. Sometimes we're on the losing end.
Did you guys do it with guns?
Yeah, armed robberies.
Well, duh, huh?
So, what happened was after we got arrested, all the witnesses pointed me out, and not my homeboy, right? So they got me for the robberies, but he was wanted on some shit already. So we both went to the county. And we were there like 2 days together, 9,500, and he went that way, and I went this way, and I never seen him again. To this day.
Oh.
I haven't seen him. I mean, we were in the same joint. We were in Centinela, I think, together, but he was like on another yard. Whatever, but.
Yeah. So you're 18. You just got to the county for these, you know, those armed robberies. Scared.
I'm scared.
I'm sure you've heard so many stories. You know, your homie is saying this, you know, different little stories or whatever.
Yeah.
How did you feel walking in there besides being scared?
I remember feeling, you know, everything's so uncertain when you hit the county because, you know, you're in the beginning of your case. You don't know what you're facing. You don't really even know, like, the severity of your actions yet, until the judge hits you on Monday and tells you, you know, what you're looking at. So I just remember thinking, you know, I remember like just not wanting to step out of line, you know, because everything's so strict in LA County. And
as far as with the
police officers, with the homies, with, you know, everybody, you're learning. You know, I remember the first time I was at breakfast, and, you know, they had pots of coffee all over you know, each table had a couple pots, and I remember one of the older vatos was like, "Hey, youngster." So I looked, he's like, "Pass the chanate." I don't know what chanate means. I'm thinking it's like, you know, a negro, right? No disrespect or nothing, but you know how it is. And so I'm thinking like, what? He's like, "Pass the chanate," and I'm so confused and I feel stupid. And he's like, "Pass the fucking coffee, Holmes." I learned quick, like, okay, chanate means coffee. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You start learning all these things. You learn the rules fast because you see the homies that don't apply to the rules, and you know, I don't want to be like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was more of a quiet, listen. But I drew, like I said, I drew a lot, so I was always in my head.
That's how you passed your time.
I was in my head that I had time to think about how I wanted to be. You know, you want to be. You know, everybody could be anything in there. In the county,
yeah, that is for sure.
You want to be a rock star, you could be a rock star. You want to be, you know, chill, you could be chill. But
you were chill.
I was chill, yeah. I was never that guy.
Did you have your family there for you? Did your mom visit?
Yeah, yes, they were there. They did as much as they could. You know what I'm saying? And I also didn't try to pass that line because, you know, I put myself here. I got to hustle. So, like, I never really needed my family like that because my art got me everything I needed.
When you got to the county, well, obviously you already were in juvenile hall, so you knew that by drawing you were gonna. Yeah. So as soon as when you got to the county, you already like.
Oh, I was a bad.
You already worked.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was drawing manila envelopes and
you're
people were sending I was that guy.
Nice.
I was definitely that guy to go to.
Well, that was good. That you at least, so you're able to survive without, getting your mom stressed or like, obviously she's stressed because you're in there, but that she has to put money in your books, things like that. It's hard,
Yeah.
I'm thankful I've never experienced that with my son or whatever, but I've definitely been the daughter to put my mom through it. So I get it, right? Okay. I don't want to get emotional. So let's. Okay. What was the craziest thing you saw in the county?
The craziest thing I saw in the county was somebody go for a little elevator ride.
What is that? Going for an elevator ride?
So in the county, when you fuck up, the Huras take you in the elevator, and they call it flashlight therapy. They just, so you see fools come out lumped up. Bumps on their head, their eyes are shut. They're dragging them. You
never went to the elevator?
I never, no. I'm not, like I said, I'm not that individual to where I cause problems or I don't cause a ruckus.
Good, yeah, yeah. So that was the craziest thing you saw. Craziest thing you did?
In the county? You know what? We had a few riots.
Oh, so you experienced
I was
riots.
in the riots when the whole county kicked off. The whole county kicked off.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
This is in the 90s, and we had got word, that at this day, at this time, we're gonna rock this, and we rocked it. We rocked from Supermax down to Central Jail.
Oh wow.
Wayside. Everybody rocked.
So everybody was just fighting.
Gas. There was gas everywhere. They're shooting us with blocks. They're throwing, grenades.
Because this was the riot with the guards.
With the blacks.
Oh, okay. How long did you end up doing for these two robberies? How long did you fight
5
your
years.
case? Oh, so you did 5 years for this robbery.
My first term, I got a 5-year term, and at 18, I went to a level 3 yard. I didn't last there. I ended up in a level 4. Got into some riots. Went to the hole, got some time, shipped you out. I transferred a lot. And after my first 5 years I was young. I maxed it out. I did the whole 5, and I was naive to a lot of things. So I was just like. I was just a homie, you know what I'm saying?
No,
I get it. The homie Fly, he tatted everybody up. I must have tattooed 150 people in those 5 years or more,
Yes.
I've tattooed a lot. But yeah, my first 5 years was kind of rough.
How many prisons did you go to in those 5 years?
I started off at Centinela in the 90s. I was there for about a year and a half, 2 years. Caught a riot. And then, 3 years. And then from there, they transferred me to Lancaster. This is like in 98, 99. Yeah, I was in Lancaster and I paroled from there. After 5 years, I got out, yeah.
So you said those 5 years were really rough. Tell us a little bit more about why rough.
It was rough because, a lot of the decisions that you make, you don't understand where you're putting yourself,
Give us an example.
For example, it made me worse in a sense. Like I went in as a bright-eyed kid, but now I'm looking at everything and I'm like, okay, I'm reading books on psychology. I'm reading books on sociology. I'm learning how to manipulate. Right? I'm trying to manipulate every situation I can in my favor, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you're not the only one doing that. Everybody's doing that. So there's manipulation left and right, and they're trying to manipulate you, and you're trying to, it's just, it's mental. I'm not saying physical.
So what you mean by rough, you mean mentally? Well, of course.
It was a mental fight for me. it wasn't a physical fight because I've never been stabbed, you know. I haven't really been beat up in my life that bad. Like, so more is mental because, you know, you start to think like, damn, you know, someone's gonna get hit today, and you know it. And everybody knows it, but the guy that's gonna get hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, it makes you feel like you know this guy, and you can't even tell him. So it's
That is
like
rough.
It's
That is
rough
extremely
because
rough.
it's not rough in the sense that, you know, we're cracking doors and because all that shit happens too. Doors rack, people jump, you know. Sometimes you get caught slipping. Other times, you know, cops were making it happen because they like seeing violence, you know. So I seen a lot of that too, where a lot of the violence was induced by the guards, you know. But when I say rough, I mean psychologically.
Yeah,
rough.
no, that it's definitely
Yeah.
rough. It's rough all the way around. I understand exactly what you mean. Just being in prison, but just being away is rough mentally.
Yeah.
So having to deal with all the extraness of, you know, the prison stuff,
Yeah.
rough. So I get it.
A lot of people in there manipulate so hard that, you know, they'll try to wreck you. They'll try to get you in a wreck, you know, because of something that he don't like about you or some, you know,
No, I
somebody
understand.
who's got more status than you, and all of a sudden you're on his radar, and it's like, but you can't do nothing to me because I ain't, like, you can't touch me, fool, because I ain't did nothing. You be wrong. But when somebody can't get you, they hate on you more because they know they can't touch you.
No, for sure, I understand.
So it's just like I said, it's just psychological, and it's ugly because sometimes, you know, you get to thinking like, damn, is this fool plotting on me now? Because now I'm gonna plot on you, and then the whole time it's probably just him trying to look at you so he can get in your head, but he's not really planning nothing. But not like that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, no,
now you
I-
got me looking at you in a different way, and
Yeah.
you know, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So.
He says, I don't like.
Yeah, no, I'm a pretty stand-up person, you know.
No, for sure.
And you know, I don't try to get in people's heads. You know what I mean?
No, I get
It's not nice.
No, not at all.
It's not a nice
It's
thing
mean.
to do.
No, I understand. So you did your 5 years. You got out, right? Did you go back?
I stood out almost 3 years. Got married.
You got married.
Had
while you
a
were
job.
out.
I was a fucking engineer, not an engineer, like an aerospace company. Yeah, I was working on parts, you know, like for airplanes and shit like that, and
That's
quality control. Like I felt like I was doing something good, and I was actually doing good in life. You know, I was sober. Bought my first car out the lot, out of a level 4. Went to the Ford dealer, pulled out a F-150, and I remember driving, setting the radio station. I was at the red light, and I started laughing so hard because I couldn't believe they gave me a truck.
yes.
Like, I just got out like 9 months ago. You know what I mean? And here I am at the Ford dealer signing contracts, and just
Buying
like,
your car.
okay, like we could do this.
You got the feeling of what you wanted to feel.
I got to feel what it felt like, what everybody was out here, I was missing out on. And then, so now I had the car, and then I had the job, and then I got the girl, and now I'm doing good. You know, I'm rolling. Everything's golden. And then I started getting high. Some fool at work, because we were working a lot, and some fool at work started busting out, and I was like, and that shit, it didn't take long before everything just came unraveled.
Yeah, well, it's like a thing. They really do say that, like, you will get, as soon as you get high, you will get back to where you were at in no time. It's like a thing. It's super scary.
It's so sad because I don't care who you are. If you have a habit, you're gonna lose everything you got. It might not happen in a year, it might not happen, but eventually
It will happen.
You're gonna lose it all, bro. And so I was out 3 years, and you know, I became a different person. I went back to my manipulation, you know, tactics, and it's sad because the woman I was with at the time, she was so innocent and so pure and so lovable, and I destroyed it. You know what I mean? I changed her, and I got busted again. You know, I got busted again, and left a whole mess.
So you caught another case.
Yeah.
And what was this case for? What did you get busted for?
Battery on a peace officer who just ran up on me. I'm already violent, and they try to rough me up, and I fought back.
Were you on parole still?
Oh yeah, I was on parole. I've been on, yeah, I had the same number, and so I caught another case for assault, and they gave me 3 years for that one, right? And that was the worst, bro, because after you sober up and you start to realize what you did on the streets, and then I'm not getting no letters. I'm not getting she's not accepting my calls. My baby is like, my baby was a month when I got busted. So like her whole pregnancy was, I destroyed that pregnancy. And that, I felt so guilty because after I came to my mind and I realized that, I hurt somebody who you care, you know what I mean? Who you really care about, and now you got to deal with that. So my first term was all, we were drinking, we were getting high, we were in the yard, we were getting riots,
You were living it up.
Man, I was a youngster. I was a youngster, right? My second term, my heart was broken. My heart was destroyed. I was empty. No communication is the worst. You know what I mean? And I went through that for like 2 years in Ironwood. Got out and tried to fix things, but it just wasn't the same.
So you got 3 years.
Got out again.
And you were in Ironwood, you said. Did you have any crazy experiences, or did you see anything crazy that you haven't, that you like in your other?
Yeah, I think that time, yeah, I seen somebody get beat to death on the yard. I seen somebody get beat to death, and they did it during shift change. So all the officers were, moving around. So they got him behind the shower in the yard, and the gunner wasn't looking because he was doing shift change. And, there was a lot of movement.
Yeah, it was planned. Obviously, it was planned.
I remember the two guys that did it had blood up to their shoulders.
That sticks to you, huh?
And they had, their whole shirt was blood. He took his shirt off, because it was so full of blood. Their shoes. And the guy wasn't moving anymore. I didn't know if he was dead. I just thought he was out. He ended up dying, from what I understand. But I was just like, fuck. Like, what causes that? You know what I mean? Like, but like I said, I had my own issues, so I wasn't really tripping on that.
Yeah, you were going through your own motions, especially. Do you feel like you had to go through this second term the way it went, as far as like you being alone? You went through you put them through so much stuff after being sober, and you're living life at your best, and then you decide to get high and everything goes to poop, right? Yeah. So you're in prison and you're like, damn, I really messed up everything. Do you feel like you needed to experience that to be
Well, you know what?
who you are now?
I'll tell you what, the worst feeling I've ever felt was guilt. It's heavy. Guilt is a heavy burden to bear, And I remember, the good thing I could say about it is that it changed me. Because, I didn't know that you could hurt a woman with words, right? Like, and I broke her down like that. Not physically, but verbally. And I didn't understand that until after, when I seen what I did, I changed myself and I said, I'm never gonna say anything that I don't mean, especially to a woman, right? So like, I could be mad, and I won't be like, I won't talk like that. I just clam up, and sometimes that's worse. They say, but I don't know. I'd rather not say nothing than say something I regret. You know what I mean?
No, I understand what you mean by that, but no, it's definitely good to release. Yeah. You can't keep it all in,
Yeah.
But I understand what you mean.
Well, you could say it in a different way,
different
though.
forms, use different. You could use different words.
Yeah, you could say it in a different way and still get your point across. It might not be as dramatic, but
A little more calm is better.
But I think calm is more serious. Like if you tell me something, you'd be like, "Oh shit, this fool, he's not playing."
Yes.
But nah, I don't know. I just think that I learn from. Now I do. It took me a lot of years, but I learn now from all my situations, whether it was prison, or relationship, or addiction.
Now I know.
Addiction was real. It was a real problem for me, up until my last term. That's the
So
big
how
one.
many terms have you done in total?
3.
Oh, so let's get back to your third
So
term.
we're at 8 now.
What do you mean we're at 8?
5 and then 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So then your last term, what did you get incarcerated for?
So I got busted for. Well, the last one was ex-con with a gun. Yeah, they called me ex-con with a gun. I was just out there and I was strapped up right here in the neighborhood and I was on one. So like when I'm on one, my all my it goes out the window. My
The little thinking switch.
yeah, like I don't care if I'm strapped. I don't care if I'm in a G ride. I don't care if I'm drinking and driving. I don't care if I got dope on me. Like
I understand.
And I don't care if I start thinking like every situation is different because there's been times where I get pulled over and I'm strapped up and I'm like, what do I do? Like, do I go off or do I go to jail? Like, which is it, right? So I got caught ex-con with a gun, New Year's Eve, 2005, like 10 minutes before midnight, like right at New Year's Eve. It was 2005 turned into 2006.
Oh, wow.
It was raining. I remember the day. It was raining. Like this last year. See, you remember this New Year's was raining?
Yeah, it was bad.
It was exactly like that. And I got caught with a strap.
You just got pulled over or something?
Just got pulled over. And I remember thinking, because I'm a 3-striker. So I'm thinking, did I get off? Because they don't know. I mean, you know what's going to happen, what comes with that. But it crossed my mind. And I remember my son came into my head, and my son was little, and I was thinking, like, it's one thing for me to go to jail and see him, but if I'm gone, that's it.
Yeah.
So I remember I said, and I laid down, and they got me, took me to jail. 4 years. Ex-con with a gun, 4.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you do your time at?
So at that time in like the mid 2000s, they were rearranging the point system in the joint, level 2, level 3, level whatever, right? Like, so when I paroled from a level 4, I came back not even a year later, it was like 8 months later, and the point systems had changed, so it dropped me down to like a level 2, like barely like level 2.
But that was a good thing, no?
I'm thinking, well, yeah, level 2, like ping pong and shit. And,
okay.
You get all these little perks from what I hear. I've never been through that. I'm thinking, there's gonna be apple trees on the yard and shit, but that was none of that. It was still a prison, but definitely a lot more lax. Dorm living. I had never been into dorm living. So
and tell us your experience on the dorm living.
So when I pulled up to the joint, I know a lot of people, so everybody accepted me. Very open arms. What's up, Fly? The homie, he tats, he gets down. Like, hell yeah, we're gonna kick it. I just got out 8 months ago, so it's not like I've been gone that long.
Yeah, no, you're still
I'm still there. Like, what's up, homie? Oh, okay, so I'm back. This one officer seen me, some older cat, and he thought that because of the way I look and because of the love that I received from my friends, he thought that I was something. Mm-hmm. And he me, like he kept hitting my house, he kept tossing my shit up, he kept dumping on my coffee, shit like that, just throwing my shit on the floor. So I come home from the yard and my shit be all fucked up, and I would tell him like what the
yeah.
Did I do something? I know who you are. And I was like, get the out. I'm like, bro, I got like a little 3 years to do, like let me do my little plus I'm dealing with like a divorce, like I'm dealing with my kid, like I'm dealing with mentally.
Yeah,
right?
you're dealing with your life.
My life, like I've only been busted a few months. Like I'm still kind of, detoxing and all that. It's a whole combination. And this dude kept fucking with me until I beat his ass. He put hands on me.
Was that the craziest thing you did while you were incarcerated your whole time?
Definitely the stupidest. Yeah. Definitely not the smartest because, he was older than me and I was exercising and he just caught me to the point where I was just like, I'm gonna make sure you realize today not to do this to anybody else, right? Like I said, I didn't care about consequences. So I hurt him bad and I got a GBI because I was slamming his head on the asphalt.
What is a GBI?
Great bodily injury.
Ah.
So I went to the hole. They gave me two extra years for that. 7 extra years. I was 2 years in the hole fighting that case. And
So you didn't even do it. So it was 3 years, but it was really.
It was a 4-year term.
Uh-huh.
I caught the case with the Huda, and they gave me 7 more on top of that. So now I turned to 11.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm doing a shoot term now, and I'm like, fuck.
Shoot term meaning you're locked down.
I was in the hole.
So you were in the hole the whole 2 years.
22 months.
Okay.
22 months in the hole. And thinking, fuck, like, why did I let this fucking dude get me to that point? So in those 2 years, I did a lot of soul searching.
Nice.
I did a lot of reflection. Family, and we didn't have a TV because the sockets didn't work, so we didn't have TV or radio, right? So we were just chilling.
Quiet.
Luckily, I'm an artist, like
I was
I
about
said,
to
so
say that.
my mind is always occupied because I'm drawing or reading.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have an escape. But it's also when you draw, you're in your head a lot. You start to think about every scenario. So I told myself, that if I make it out this month, so now I got 10 years. I don't have 3 years no more. Now I got to do 10.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, fuck, I fucked up, right? So I told myself that day when I was in the hole that if I make it out this month, I'm not going to come back. Like, that's it, I'll chill for 10. And if I get out, cool, And if I don't, then, whatever. It is what it is.
So how long did you end up doing?
10 years out of 11.
Oh my goodness. So you did the whole 10 years on your last term.
My last term.
So you got another case.
Mm-hmm.
You beat the officer up. Mm-hmm. You were doing 2 years in the shoe. How were the guards treating you? Tell us that experience.
Man, it was rough. The first night, they just basically just threw me in there, right? Like literally, threw me in there. I was all, I had, what do they call it? Like cherries from when they drag you in the asphalt. I had all these skid, like burn marks.
Like skid marks,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, abrasions. Just, I can't think of the name either. So I had all these, I was all beat up, scar on my face. I think that was a boot to the forehead because I was on them. I figured I'm already going to catch a case, so might as well just stay on them. So I lit them up pretty good. So I'm in the hole. The next morning, they turned off my water and they wouldn't feed me for 5 days.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
they would pass by at breakfast and just kick my door, basically. And I was like, all right, cool, I understand they're mad. So then lunch came, I had no lunch. Dinner came, okay, I'm not making an issue, right? 2 days go by, 3 days, and I'm thinking, now I'm hungry.
Now you're hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry, but I'm thirsty more than anything. And I remember that they isolated me in a little corner where nobody could get to me. And I didn't have anything to make a line. I didn't have anything. So it's they needed to get to me because I had told them I had no water. They could see what's going on. They seen that they weren't feeding me. Everybody was talking shit, whatever. But at the end of the day, they couldn't get to me. So after 5 days, I remember being in the toilet. I hadn't used the restroom. I would pee in the corner of the cell because I didn't want to pee in the toilet.
Because you wanted to drink water.
Well, I remember there was a little bit of water way at the bottom of the toilet. And I was thinking, after 5 days, I was thinking, fuck, I want to drink that.
Oh
Should I?
my goodness.
So like that's why I say when you go back to the psychological, like how the do you sit there and look at the bottom of the toilet and see a gulp of water and think, did I? Even though I didn't
would
do it.
have.
But after, I remember I went to committee after 5 days. I went to the committee and I told on all of them. I told the warden was there, our assistant warden, and you know the big dogs. And I told the warden, they ain't fed me in 5 days. I ain't had water. I even think like I might have teared up a little bit because it's emotional.
No,
like,
most definitely.
dude, I thought I was gonna die. I really did. Like I thought 5 days of water is. I don't think you could. I don't know how many days you can go without water, but I know 5 days is you're pushing it.
Yeah.
You're pushing it. So I remember
So
after I went out of
days.
committee, they brought me like 5 lunches, 6 juices, some milk. I was like, I was tearing it up.
I'm sure.
But yeah, that was the worst. I think that
And that was only your first 5 days.
first 5 days.
First 5 days of your 2 years in the shoe.
You know what? Not so bad after because they kick you out of the prison when you get an assault. They don't stay there because of shit like that. Okay. So after 5 days, like 6 days, they threw me in a van and they transferred me out to another hole.
To another hole.
Yeah, where nobody knew nothing.
Okay.
Like the guards.
Like you were like kind of fresh.
Yeah, because they don't know what happened over there.
Okay.
So they're like,
So
man,
there's
the
like-
sergeant had told me, I don't care what happened over there, right here. You run a clean shit, then you get treated right. So I was like, cool with that.
So you spend the remainder of your 2 years.
Fighting my case right there. They tried to give me 17 years for beating up that cop on a deal, and I fucking went back and I was like, I didn't even stab him. I beat him up, yeah, but I didn't, but you gotta look at the whole case. Like, he provoked the shit. I didn't just wake up and say, I'm gonna fuck this fool.
Yeah,
like,
which was violence.
but they don't care about that.
They just care about what you did. And
what you
that's
did,
it.
unless you take it to trial, then all that comes out. But you know, trial for me is not even in my. You know, it's not even in my vocabulary because I'll lose everything. I'll lose every trial. If I ever went to trial, I'll lose everything.
I understand what you mean. I kind of feel the same way.
I go for the deals. You have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
So you're in your 2 years. You're fighting your case for 2 years. You ended up doing 10 years. In those 10 years, what was the craziest thing you experienced? Even if it's just with yourself.
Addiction, because you know, drugs are very, you know, they're abundant. They're in abundance. You know what I mean? And you know, me, like I said, I know everybody. I've been there so many years. I'm a tattoo artist. Like, shit was just always coming under my door. And then, you know, basically we were just living it up. Drugs, cell phones, you know, food, visits, just like a big party, but it was because we were on drugs. You know, I remember having, you know, 30, 40 grams of heroin, and we're chopping it up, and this is going there, this is going there, and this is going there. And I remember waking up in the morning, you know, getting high. I remember the guard doing count, and my head is like this. You know what I mean? And they don't care.
They know.
They know. But you've been there so many years, they just look at you and they're like, stay away. You know what I mean? Like, you're lost, fool. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yes.
You know? But I was lost for a long time. Heavy addiction. Weight loss. You know, for about 6 years, I had no visits, no letters. Like, my ex-wife divorced me. Like, I was just like, I was gone. Like, nobody was checking in on me. It was the third time. Like, people give up. You know, they're only there first time, second time maybe, but third time, like, come on, dick.
Yeah,
like,
la onda way.
Yeah, that's not, you got to do it on your own. But it's cool because, like I said, I'm a hustler, so I never really needed, other than mail outs. Other than mail outs, it's like, hey, you know, can you send this over here? Can you send that over there? But I was lucky enough to have met somebody in there that changed my life around and got me to see that the way I was living wasn't the right way.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah. And
Was it an inmate?
it was an old girlfriend of mine from high school.
Oh.
Yeah, so like I had a cell phone, so
Oh, so you just found her.
yeah, Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Facebook.
he smiles.
And we reconnect, and she hit me up. And we got to we got together, and it didn't happen overnight, because it was funny, because we were talking she couldn't get approved for like 5 months because IGI was on me. So they were like, everything was, being lagged on.
Longer just because.
Yeah,
because
they were on me. So it took her about 5 months to finally get approved, but she didn't know that I was strung out. Because we were on the cell phone, and I had one of those little flips that didn't have, at the time, it didn't have camera, it was just a phone.
Oh.
So she could send me little pictures on the thing, but I couldn't send them out. So
Yeah.
she didn't know that I was strung out. So when she came to visit me the first time and I went out there, I didn't look so good. Yeah, I seen the pictures. I was like,
Oh no.
and she looked at me too, and she told me, like, you're strung out, fool. And I was like, fuck, you don't gotta come back. I told straight out, like, it's sad, but it's like, I fucked up. I should have told you, but you're a coward. I was a coward. You do cowardly shit because you don't have when you're addicted. What are you gonna say? Oh yeah, I'm loaded right now. Like, she knew. She's not like a
Naive.
square.
Yeah,
she knows.
yeah.
So I think she just needed to see. But anyhow, yeah, she got me to see that my ways weren't the right way, and that my friends weren't the right choice of people to hang around with, and she sobered me up. It took about a year, but
while you were incarcerated.
Yeah, I mean, we'd go to visit, and she'd fucking yell at me because I'd be high, in the visit. So, she finally, it was like, either you sober up or I'm done with you, fool. Like, that's it. So I got the message and I sobered up finally after,
Your whole life.
30 years, 40 years or whatever. I sobered up, and I did good. I was working out again. I had a
You're
girl.
feeling yourself.
I'm going to visit. Like,
Yes.
I was living it up.
You were drawing.
And then I got sick one day.
You got sick.
I got sick.
When you say you got sick, what do you mean you got sick?
One day I just passed out. I just passed out, and I woke up and I was all lumped up. I guess I hit everything on the way down. The bunk, the sink, the toilet. I hit everything.
Wow.
So I remember waking up, and my Sally's like, "Hey, fool, you all right?" He's like slapping me around, like, "Wake up." I'm like, "What the fuck?" But I couldn't get up. I couldn't move. I was just awake, like paralyzed. So I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, we would call man down. They took me in the ambulance, and they put me in the infirmary. I was in the infirmary for over a year. I never went back to the yard.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because when I went, they took me to the outside hospital. My vitals were like, they were like, no, something's wrong with this fool. Like, his blood pressure, his oxygen, like everything was just whacked out. So they sent me to the real hospital, And then I was in the hospital for like a month doing biopsy of this, liver biopsy, kidney biopsy, bone marrow biopsy, like
Everything.
bro. I was like a pincushion. They were just taking pieces of me out of everywhere. And finally, I knew it. I knew because, you know something's not right,
Because we know our bodies.
You know your body. It took like about a month, maybe 2 months, and the doctor came in and he told me I had cancer.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, I had 2 years left to go home after doing 10. Well, out of the 10, I had 2 left. And I'm thinking, I'm going to die this fucker for 2 years. I went down, I was losing 10 pounds a week. I got, you know how when people are in hospice?
No, yes.
That's how I look.
I know exactly how.
So finally the doctor came in, they said, we're gonna treat you, we're gonna this, we're gonna that. So I ended up doing chemo. I did a bone marrow transplant, stem cell transplant.
Okay, so they do allow you to go through those processes while being incarcerated.
I got some really good care.
Oh, well, that's good. See, I
The
never.
state will pay for all that.
See, I never knew that. I never heard. I never heard anybody
Bro, I
say.
was in a hospital in San Diego called Scripps in La Jolla.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a menu in the beginning, in the morning, like pick your breakfast, pick your lunch, pick your dinner.
Well, that's good. See, that's something good that people don't know. I for myself, I think like, oh no, you get you get sick, you get cancer, and you're in prison. What's gonna happen to him? They're not gonna take care of him. Like, I don't know.
Bro,
We don't
I was
know.
chained.
You know?
I was chained to the bed watching the Kardashians.
And is this like a thing though?
Watching
This is normal.
reality shows.
This is normal though, right? Like, I don't mean I just mean in general. Like, if somebody.
If somebody gets sick, they'll treat you.
Okay, that's what I mean. That's
yeah,
like.
they'll treat you. Or if you're untreatable, they'll just medicate you. You know, I mean, you can only do so much. But the state, I think by law, they have to treat.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So luckily, I got treated. I did my chemo, and I beat it. Yeah, I'm in remission right now. 2013.
Thank God.
2013. Yeah.
Good for you.
And been sober ever since.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I did slip up lately. You know, I got caught up with because. And I never told this. You know, a lot of my clients don't even know, but. You know, being a cancer survivor and paroling, you know, they send me home with pills, you know, Norcos, morphines, tramadol, like all them addictive pills.
Yeah.
So I wasn't addicted, but I was, you know, my body was dependent at the lowest level because I was kind of like just not taking that much. But being an addict
is what it's.
You know,
it's easy to get.
1 became 2, 2 became 3. Next thing you know, it got ugly, you know, and it goes back to when you say that you lose everything. It might not happen overnight. So I got married to that girl. That we were married, you know. We had a good life. We bought our house out here. I've been out 10 years, almost 10. But in that, you know, in that time we did good, man. We did, you know, we were doing good for ourselves, but I had that monkey on my back still, and I couldn't shake it. And then I got caught up, you know, the streets is full of
monkeys.
There's a lot of stuff out there, you know, and I got stuck on prescription medication really bad.
Oh.
And finally my ex-wife divorced me because of that, right? So besides that, like, okay, she, you know, that's neither here nor there, but it's like, it made me think, okay, so now she's gone, right? You lost another one to the same bullshit, right? But the thing is that this time I was in a state of mind where I had control of which way I was gonna go. Before I get busted, I had no control. I had to deal with shit from the county to, you know.
Yes.
I had no control. But this time I was like, okay, so she's gone. Either I could continue to get high, or I shake this shit because I'm gonna end up back in the joint if I do. So that day, it just so happened that the next day after I left my house, that my doctor called me for my refill. And I told my doctor, literally like crying, and I told him, you need it, because I was still on those he was still giving me, and I told him, you can't give me no more. Like, just up, it's ruining my life. Like, I need off everything. And he's like nobody ever says that. You know what I mean? Especially not like me.
Yeah.
So my doctor, he said, okay, we're gonna do it. And we did it together. And it's about 2-3 months, 2.5 months, I was finally off. He weaned me off everything. Sober, I've been sober 10 months, completely sober. Yeah. I mean, I have a drink, you know what I mean?
Her too.
I'll smoke, but I'm talking about like
I understand, like real drugs.
Yeah, real drugs that get out of hand, right?
Okay, really quick. So, you were in your last 2 years when you find out that you were sick. You were, you know, you beat it before you got out?
I beat the cancer?
Yes.
Yeah, I had about a year and a half left or so to go home. When I got married in there. I had no hair. I looked like powder, no eyebrows. My wedding picture. Fuck. Yeah, but anyhow, I beat it. I'm in remission 2 years to the house.
Okay.
So I got out like good, you know.
Let me ask you, since you said you got married in prison, how is that experience? Like, do you guys like, you know, tell us about getting married in prison. I don't, you know, people want to know what to do, or not even what to do, like, you know, that experience of getting married in prison.
You know what? It's I mean, it's cool because, you know, you get your family visits. Number one. Obviously, that's what everybody wants, right? Yeah. So you get your family visits.
Family visits meaning?
Conjugal.
Okay.
They have little apartments in prison, and you go like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, leave Sunday. So 3 days you're be able to, connect with your wife or your husband and be intimate, all that kind of stuff. So you're just you two. Being married, it also gives you something to look forward to. I think when you're in prison and there's somebody there for you, like it makes you do better. It makes you not want to get in trouble. You know what I mean? So I was on that trip because you mess up, you can't get a family visit. You get in trouble, you prolong it another 90 days or 120, whatever. So yeah, you try to be on your best behavior. So I think it's a good thing, when people have people who are in prison to stay connected, because when you kind of just leave them to their own, they go a little, get sidetracked.
Yeah. How's the process of getting married?
Just a packet, like
okay.
She goes to the city, gets the marriage license. She buys the rings. She pays the pastor. They do it like on Saturday, probably like $200, $300.
Okay.
And then it's legal. You're married. You get the certificate, and
you get a kiss.
Yeah, you get to kiss. You don't get to be with her though the first day. You just kiss and you take some pictures, and she goes home like any other day, But yeah, it's definitely something that if you're lucky enough, because a lot of people don't got that.
Yeah.
You're
married. Family visits.
Yeah.
She comes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, right? She comes.
Yeah.
Does she bring she brings clothes, the shampoo, like how does that work?
So what they
is there a TV, like everything?
So basically they bring you in first. They bring you in, so I go in there, make sure everything's cool. It's pretty clean, and then you wait, and then she'll come in.
Is there stoves? Refrigerators?
Yeah, it's a whole apartment. It's a whole apartment.
Like
it has
a little
stove.
house.
Yeah, like a 1-bedroom little studio, and it has stove, refrigerator. It has 2 bedrooms, bathroom, living room, TV, just like a normal apartment.
Oh, that's
but
cool. With the bars
fence around it, with barbed wire. You can't go nowhere. I mean, your door opens, you just can't go. You're locked in.
You're just like, yeah, that's cool. So when they're walking you in, what is the guards telling you? Like, damn fool, you about to get some, or like
sick ass fool.
That's all you're thinking about too, huh?
Feed man hiding out right here in the.
Hey, do they get handcuffed while they go?
So yeah, you come from the yard. They put your little handcuffs on. You get in the
No, I
little
mean
go-kart.
the girls.
She comes in a van. She comes in a van, and she's not handcuffed.
Okay.
Yeah, she comes in a van. She has a little clear bag with the little shampoos from Walmart and the little lotions and all this travel stuff.
Okay.
She brings a couple of outfits.
Super cute ones?
I don't think they really let like that in there. It's basically like sweats or like
shirt. Okay. But can you walk around naked inside?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. For sure, you're gonna be naked.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even put any clothes on.
She comes in, and then you guys do what you do, and you got the TV right there, and there's food. She makes dinner.
So let me ask, the food. Do you order the food, or does she bring food in, or how does that work?
Basically, you order the food like out of a package situation. You write down. You get so many pounds, like a package. You get beans, rice, cereal.
So whatever meals you're gonna make.
Everything, your bag will come in on the day of. I'll be right there, like boom, everything. Milk.
And how was that little experience? Like when you guys cook together, like.
I mean, we cook together. We sit outside. You try to do the little things that you can't do. You talk. You just have a good time. There's really nothing. You can only do one thing, really.
No, you do what everybody else does at home, watches TV.
Nah.
But mainly all you guys cared about is just having sex, huh? Pervert ass fools.
Yeah, like fucking for like 2 days straight, 3 days straight. I mean, you're just going at it. But you know what? It's definitely something to look forward to.
She didn't get pregnant?
No. She didn't get pregnant or nothing like that. But I recommend everybody get married. Everybody have family.
That's why everybody wants to get married in prison.
I recommend it. I mean,
So we telling the girls, don't marry these fools in
I tell you
jail.
one thing though. I'll tell you one thing. Out of everybody that was getting visits in there in the visiting room and had their wives and everybody that was paroling, I think I lasted 8 years. So I think I probably was one of the ones that actually did it because, I mean, obviously it didn't work out, but fools were in there like a month, 2 months, they were already like breaking up with their hyenas.
They just wanted a bone.
I just think that, it's people use people in the moment and they tell you I love you, but in reality they don't love you. You know, they're using you, or
I mean, obviously not everybody, but I understand what you mean.
Some people they're in there for their own personal
for their own benefits.
Benefits, you know what I mean? They're not looking at the benefits of others, and I kind of looked at it the other way. Like I said, I was changing. I was already changing. By the time she came, she caught me in a time in my life, but the change was still going. You know what I'm saying? The change was, so yeah.
Well, that's cool. So you get out. So you get out. You said you were, you got home sent with pills. You're on your pills. What else have you been doing?
So recently, now after all that, like I said.
Because you've been out how long?
Okay, so I've been out 8 years. When I got out, I went straight to work. Tattoo. I'm a tattoo artist. I did what I needed to do, to live, make money, and I did pretty well. To this day, I work in a shop and I'm doing good.
Good for you.
The difference now is that it's just me now. Like before, it was me with a family, right? So I experienced that. At least I'm grateful that I got to experience a family, because I had 2 stepsons with her, and even though things didn't work out that way, me and my boys are still like this.
Oh, good.
You know what I mean? I got grandkids through my boys, so that unit is still solid.
Which is amazing.
Amazing, right? So I'm not alone, But now that I'm trying to network now, I became more in tune with my with, how should I say, I got into therapy after, I thought I needed it. So I went in to talk to a professional, and she taught me about goals. She taught me about, chasing your dreams. She taught me about fixing your credit. She taught me about just everything that a normal person will do that I didn't have, because the whole time that I was married, I was like, no bank account, I had no credit, I didn't do this, I didn't do, I was a ghost. But after I realized you can't live like that.
No.
Nobody's gonna give you ain't got no credit card, or you don't, how you gonna get a, so I started learning these things. Now I'm establishing.
It takes time. You say you've been out 10 years.
10 years, but I should have did it from the beginning.
Well, no, it's just kind of how it works. Like, for example, myself, I've been out for almost 12 years or so, and I finally feel that I'm where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. Not where I want to be, yes, but where I feel I'm okay.
Yeah.
And it
That's
takes
where
time.
I'm at. That's exactly where I'm at. I finally got to the point in my life where I'm good. I know it's just me, and everything that I've been through, it made me who I am as far as mental, but I don't cause, I would suffer in my own mind. You know what I mean? And I don't think I do that anymore. Yeah, I let go of all the. So when I sobered up, I just let go of everything. That's right. I shook everything off my shoulders, and I was like, from here forward, wherever we get, and whatever's back there, it's irrelevant, because it ain't making me no money. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So now what I do is I do these drawings, right? And basically just slang them on the internet. The internet is
everything. Bro,
you could make money. You can make money off the internet, and it's like that's where I'm at now.
Would you like to show us some of your drawings?
Yeah. So these are these drawings that I do, all pen work, right?
Wow.
We got Miklo and Crucito and Paco. I don't know if you can see down there, but
yeah.
So I'll just swing them to you. But yeah, like,
Vatos locos forever?
yeah, watch out, like, so,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
and you know what? My therapist got me to do this. Yeah, she's like, so you're an artist, but where's your art? And I didn't have nothing.
Oh.
And she's like, how are you an artist, but you don't have no art? So basically, I set a goal that I would try to draw as many drawings as I could by the end of the year. This is like back in May, and I ended up with all these.
Wow.
Yeah, I ended up with all these. So.
And do you want to tell, we can just leave them right here for now. Do you want to tell our people at Indicted how to reach you for, if they want to book you for tattoo? Go ahead and tell us.
So I work at a shop called Bridge City in Rialto, and I'm in another location in downtown LA, 2nd and Broadway. So I got like fools in the IE that want tattoos. You can hit me up, FlyBoy_Inc. Fools in LA, you can hit me up, Fly_Inc. So we got.
Fly_Inc.
FlyBoy.
FlyBoy_Inc.
Yeah, FlyBoy_Inc. And yeah, just hit me up through Instagram. We tattoo. I'm having an art show this March 10th.
Okay.
I'm gonna plug it real quick.
Yes.
So I'm having an art show. It's called American Stepchild. That's me. It's an art show showcasing all my art. March 10th, 7 p.m. Bridge City Tattoo. We're gonna have drinks and music and just it's gonna be a whole vibe.
Nice. Yes.
Showcasing everything. And I got more than this.
Of course.
I just didn't want to bring it all, but.
Thank you for bringing it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
So yeah, we're having this art show. I'm super excited. I feel like things are going in the right direction.
That's right.
Networking with people, trying to just meet, the way I met you guys.
Yes, good for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you coming and telling us your story.
Yeah. It's not that exciting, but
Nice. Everybody's story is exciting in their own ways,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Same story, just put a different face to it.
No, it's never the same story. Well, again, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and yeah, man, I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I see all this, and it's just I feel alive, doing things like this now instead of, the alternative is. This is a lot better for sure.
For sure, I understand. Well, again, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
for
coming.
having me.
Thank you for watching Indicted TV. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram.